Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first unit of impeccable wisdom or Akhandaka Pratik. Lord Shiva, Neelkanth, the blue throat of Lord Shiva is well-known concept throughout the world, and there is a cryptic science of blue throat which I would like to talk about. My dharma, impeccable wisdom, Akhandata. My greatest discovery, Divyank, the divine design of nature, which is the perfect object of the universe designed and created. Impeccable wisdom is enlightening, Akhand Vidya wisdom is empowering. In the light of Devyank and Akhandata, the perfection impeccable wisdom, we are going to look at this particular picture in the right perspective. Let me start with the churning of primordial ocean, or Sagar Manthan, or Samudra Manthan, which is one of the very important story given in Puranic forms. It is said long back, the gods and Asuras, demons, decided to work in unison with each other to get Amrit, immortal sake, from the ocean so that they could lead an immortal life for generations and generation and generation to remain. For that objective, they tied snake Vasuki around Lord Mountain and started churning the primordial ocean. As you can see right in the middle, there is a primordial ocean, and there is also the Mount Meru or Meru mountain on which Vishnu is sitting. And this is also at this stage, let me also bring it to the clear. The second incarnation of Lord Vishnu, tortoise, Kuruma, was the one who sported the Meru mountain at that particular stage. What Kuruma stands for, why it is important, on which the Mount Meru is maintained, and it is associated with Vishnu. No one has actually looked at the complete picture as it is given by the ancient Indian sages. Now in this picture you can see Asuras, demons, Rakshasas on one side, towards the side where head of snake is. And this head has got 5 faces. On the other side you see all the gods this side. You can see Brahma, you can see Vishnu, you can see Shiva, you can see Indra, Varun, and all the other elements which are there in Rigveda as a description. A beautiful picture to say something. At the same time, this particular picture also you can see something coming out which is blue-black rising up, which started killing people, and that is the stage when everybody approached Lord Shiva to drink it and things. At the same time, that is called Hala Hala, the poison. But there are other things which I like to talk about it. This is well accepted picture. You can see Hala Hala churning on both sides and 14 things. Hala Hala is the one which is right on the top left, which is a poison, which is burning, and you can see the snakes. Now, this particular picture is something which has been made beautifully by an artist. I do not know who made it, when it was made, but I know it's a phenomenal picture. What you see in this particular picture is Lord Shiva is holding poison or Hala Hala in the hands and is drinking, and Parvati is there who's keeping her hand on the throat, and you can see a blue throat. Now, many people have given their own descriptions. Parvati was holding throat so that when Lord Shiva takes poison, it is held only up to throat, does not go down, because throat chakra, Vasuki chakra, can purify, and things could be like that. But they have not been able to explain how Vishuddhi chakra can purify even poisons. That explanation nobody has given with the modern science or scientific spiritual conclusions. That's one part. And many people also say it should not go to the stomach, get absorbed and kill him. The many stories by many people have been around who were considered to be great sages that they are talking of science. But unfortunately, all the information which I have read about this in every platform is a philosophical thought which does not make any sense. For me, conclusion is only conclusive divine mathematics which has no parallel after eliminating all the possibilities of which a philosophical thought, belief otherwise, and come to the conclusion which is scientifically acceptable. My entire life has been devoted to not this, not this, not this, neti, neti, neti. Contemplate, debate, discuss, and find the impeccable wisdom, and only then talk about it so that we cannot find fault with it. And this is one story which I want everybody to understand. It is not a fiction, it is not a mythology, it is not something which should be taken lightly. As a matter of fact, I can go on record to say this particular picture, I'm a medical doctor, well experienced, 60 years of phenomenal knowledge, having seen millions and millions of people. My understanding of perfect anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, medicine, other thing falls short. For that matter, the entire world falls short compared to what I found in this particular picture, with which we can rewrite medical science, particularly of this particular nature. One concept which I'm going to show. In the light, you'll find is amazing. Modern science throughout the world would look like a baby's. They're talking of something which is definitely not right. But what is right has not been thought about by the entire world. And I am compressed to discuss about this to the world because I want impeccable wisdom of the world. Whatever the knowledge we have, school, college, to the university throughout the world, is so broken, so irrelevant, so defective. And there is a confusion in the entire world in every platform, whether it's a Google, whether it's in journals, whether it's in the books, or in the thoughts of the people. We need to rectify the deficiencies in our knowledge, data to information, knowledge to the wisdom, to the impeccable wisdom has to be there. And that is one, this particular picture is one thing very, very dear to me, because my name is also Shiv and he's also Shiv, he's also talking about that. And most important is, the thing which helped me to come to this stage was my experience with the Kundalini Yoga and my experience with Vishuddhi Chakra and the purification part of Vishuddhi Chakra to be one with universal consciousness. Purify all the dirt from the body, remove all the things and convert everything into pure Amrit. And that's the reason I have also spoken about Ganga, for me, comes from throat chakra, not from the head. It's a Sindhu which comes from the head and goes to the west of India to divide India as a subcontinent of the highest wisdom, separate from the other side. Sindhu on west side and Himalayas on the right side, and Ganga giving us the pure form of Amrit with which everything can be transformed. Now from that light, what do I find? What is amazing in this particular picture? Let me now explain step by step so that people can understand what a beautiful wisdom is there in this particular picture. The first thing which comes to my mind, that it is talking about halogens. These are the atoms in primarily the 6 periods. There are 7 periods which also supposed to science, and I have spoken about it. And then you have group of 18 is also phenomenal, where Adi Prashakti I have been able to understand. But halogen is a one chemical, and there are 5 things which I want to talk about it. And they are the right side just before noble metals. First line, you have helium, hydrogen on one side, and then helium on the other side. But next one, you have lithium on the left side and fluoride on the right side. Then you have sodium on the left side and chloride on the other side. And let me tell you, sodium and chloride is a fantastic combination to come salt as an extracellular fluid, which makes all the difference to the life as such. Then you have potassium on one side and bromide. Bromide has not been used. Fluoride has not been used. Chloride has been used. Bromide is used in medical sciences. Then you have iodine and bromide and iodine on the other side. Iodine is the one which has been used in this particular thing, and then you have astenite. Now let's see the pictures and understand the purity science of halogens and hydrogen, sodium and potassium on the other side. Halogens find good combination because they have 7 electrons outside, they are missing 1. So they can easily take 1 instead of giving 7. And they can easily take from hydrogen because 1. And also lithium, but lithium is not used, very poisonous. Then you have sodium which can be used, and this potassium which can be used. That is sodium, potassium, hydrogen, 3 ones have been used extensively to find salts with halogens. That's a beautiful science. How easily you can do it. Entire chemistry starts with hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphate, and there are about 15 elements which are absolutely essential for the human body. Iodine is one of them at the 4th level of work within the human body. Fluoride has not been used because it's very poisonous and it can give osteoporosis, and that cases have been seen throughout. But although fluoride is used in toothpaste to clean the teeth, that's one part. Chloride has been used extensively. It has got 17 electrons, and it's the first most common salt called sodium chloride, where sodium has got electron and chloride has got 17. This 11 and 17 ratio is also Devyank ratio only. 17 divided by 11 is exactly what Devyank ratio is. Phenomenal. Now next comes bromide. As I told you, it's got 35 and of course 7 outside. And it cannot form a very compound, but it is used as a medicine for psychosomatic disorders. Let's leave it at that part. Next one is iodine, iodide, 53. It has got 7. It can easily form salt with hydrogen, sodium or potassium, very commonly used as a biochemicals, even by homeopathy. Now, this particular product which you are talking about is iodine, iodide, and this particular fluoride is the one which is there as the blue-black vapors, which was considered poison, was killing people, and things like that. Now, is this a fiction, philosophy, or there is a science behind it? But before going that, I'll talk one more about halogen. Is astatine, astatite, it is 85. It has not been used, not recorded to find anything which is very heavy. But iodine is used effectively. Now let's come to the story of the poison Hala Hala. Blue-black poisons, fume started arising during the churning of the Primordial Ocean. The poison started killing the living beings around. Everyone got scared and approached Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva collected the poison and started drinking. Goddess Parvati put a snake around the neck of Lord Shiva. Is this description a myth, fiction or pure science? Has been a question in my mind ever since my childhood. I find because I am directly close to Kundalini Yoga, Kundalini Antaratma within me, I am in association with the voice of silence of that ever since my young days. My communication with my soul has been very clear from childhood. That has been responsible for my excellent academic, professional and profile on the whole, which stands out compared to almost everyone in the world. Maybe that is also one of the reasons, since I am listening to the voice of silence, I am not bothered about anybody else, because Kundalini is Antaratma, it is helium 4, it is Aditi, it is Prana, it is Antaratma, it knows everything, can give me all the answers directly and indirectly within my body itself. I don't need to look at the external world. And that has been the sense of Kundalini Yoga as well as Akhand Yoga. Contemplate within the body and get all the answers from Kundalini. You will get all the answers. Now from this particular question, let's discuss, is it a myth, a fiction, story, or graphic presentation of this particular picture of idol worship or picture is just to deviate people, or is giving the knowledge which is out of the world, which every scientist of the world should say, wow, what a knowledge is there. I want this to show to the world what a beautiful knowledge is this in this particular picture. Why graphics of Sanatana Dharma are considered the greatest impeccable wisdom. And I am only talking about impeccable wisdom, the core values. Let's not discuss of the peripheral dynamic relative world which is confusing. I am avoiding that and sticking to the core Akhandata only. Now let's come to let's go back to the school. We have been taught very clearly in a chemistry lab at school level itself, take the crystals of iodine, heat them on a burner. As you can see the picture down, you can see blue-black vapors coming out of iodine. And that's the reality. So blue-black vapors which came out during churning of ocean was actually iodine, and science has already proved that this is what it is all about. First point, that this is science. Now we are going to unfold the beauty of modern science as we know from maths, physics, chemistry to biology to other subjects. All the 64 arts show that is a wisdom of the impeccable nature which we should know and teach to everyone in the world so that we have uniform syllabus throughout the world with a knowledge which nobody can find fault. That work is being done by Akhand Vidyashram, and that is the work we should do for the entire world. We need to rewrite the entire work throughout the world and create a uniform syllabus through Akhand Vidyashram, and then there will not be confusion for anyone around the world, and everybody can get 100% because there is no only uniformity. Now our assessing system is also because there is no uniformity in syllabus, there is no uniformity in answers, there is no uniformity in creativity, and there is a confusion. Even the perfect answers are like that. Even best of my students do ask me these multi-choice questions, what percentage would I get? And when I say I would get maybe 50 or 60%, students are not able to believe. Sir, you know the impeccable wisdom and you say only 50, 60%. The reason is very simple. If you have read that answer from which the question has been taken, the key has been given, you get 100%. If you haven't read, you will not get it. And that is my point. And information is so deficient and otherwise, and moderators, evaluators have been given confusing knowledge to evaluate. How can you expect a student to have perfect wisdom on the whole? Not possible. We need to create a uniform syllabus which nobody can find. And that is neti, neti, neti. Not this, not this, not this. Don't stop till you find, yes, no more question can be raised. And Divya give you that advantage. Size of every cell is 21. To first creation is 22. Then 10 stage of development and maturation gives you perfect, and I've already given the examples. Now, having understood that is iodine, now application part. Iodine can kill is a proof in this particular concept, whether it's tincture iodine or povidone. Before surgery, you use the entire body to kill all the organisms. That means they kill. So the second point, that is blue-black paper. Second thing they can kill is proven in this particular scientific, because even today, that's the only one which is used in surgery. I am a trained general surgeon, ENT surgeon and plastic surgeon. And I know for every surgery we had to use this in one form or other to de-infect the patient. That's one part. Now comes the second question is, Parvati Ji is holding the throat only, Visuddhi Chakra, and what is there in the throat? It is the thyroid and parathyroid gland. She is holding onto thyroid and parathyroid gland, and that is Visuddhi Chakra. That is the one which purifies everything together. Whether it's a calcium metabolism for the body to be perfect, 10 milligram for 100 ml, has to be maintained to be perfectly healthy at a cardiac level, muscle levels and other things, including bones. Every concept is there. That is the science which is talking about. Now, she is holding onto that. Actually, it represents trapping of iodine in the thyroid gland. Let this iodine which is coming from outside go to the thyroid gland, not go anywhere else. It is meant for that. It is not for anything else. It has to be purified to form thyroid hormones. How the thyroid hormone is formed, now we are going to discuss about that. Now you see there is a blood on the left side. Then you have cells which are follicular cells, and also you have a lumen in which thyroid is present. So iodine is taken from the blood, is taken into follicular cells. You can see it very clearly. Then along with the ribosomes, I have already spoken about it, excretory vesicles which take thyroglobulin as a precursor. With the hydrogen peroxide peroxisomes, iodine is converted into iodide and taken to the lumen of the thyroid gland, plus added to thyroglobulin to produce monothyroid gland, di and tri, and then those things, endocytosis by pseudopodia, come back to follicular cells and get converted into thyroxine T3 and T4. They go through the cell of colloid vesicles and then proteolyzes into thyroid gland. Then that thyroid gland produces thyroxine T3, T4, is exported to the blood to be taken to all the cells of the body for the functional thing. And this is a beautiful science. It's talking about formation of thyroglobulin, for which tyrosine plus iodine are absolutely essential. And thyroid hormone has to be produced for impeccable wisdom for the entire world, is this particular claim. It's a trapping of iodine in the thyroid gland to produce thyroid hormone. It's amazing. Now, at this juncture, let me also now bring one force, one concept. I'm a medical student in Madras Medical College. Since 60s and 70s, we were taught the prime function of thyroid hormone is to maintain basal metabolic rate. It is not true. It is not calorigenic action. It is not something for energy. It is something more than that. And that thought came to me from Lord Shiva's life. When I think of Lord Shiva, I think of tapasya. Tapasya means I can produce heat. He is doing tapasya because he is living in a cold place. He needs more energy, more aura around the body to be protected from the ice cold atmosphere. He needs a thyroid hormone which is perfect. And that is required. So it is not calorigenic. It is not BMR. It is not diabetogenic hormone. It is not calorigenic hormone. It is something more than that. That thought came only from this particular picture. It's associated with Lord Shiva only. It is not associated with Brahma. It is not associated with Vishnu. It is not associated with any other god. Only Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva is the only one who stays in Kailash or Amritnath and has to have more energy on the whole. So that was the enlightening concept. So which made me realize that this could be thermogenic action. It's produced more heat, and that is what tapas is. But is heat, temperature. Body temperature should be optimal, full, perfect. So thyroid hormone is thermogenic, can produce heat. And this is being realized by modern science now very clearly. It is not BMR, it is not calorigenic, it is not diabetogenic, it is thermogenic. And that realization came to me from this picture of Lord Shiva, which is doing tapasya, austerities to increase the heat, to purify the body, keep everything perfect. Amazing. Now to prove the point that concept, thyroid hormone has one function called hypothyroidism, another hyperthyroidism. Hypothyroid patients would have intolerance to cold. If concentration of thyroid gland is less, patient will not be able to tolerate cold. If it is hyperthyroidism, the person will not be able to tolerate heat. It is meant for the people who are living in cold area as well as heat area. Perfect value will give you perfect physical health, one and large. What an enlightening knowledge. Now let's sum up the whole thing. In this particular picture, you see Hala Hala is a blue-black vapors, started killing living beings, and then they represent iodine, which is element 53. Crystals are heating become blue-black. Tincture iodine and povidone are used to kill microorganisms. Tracking of iodine in thyroid gland to find thyroid hormone. There are 10 stages of thyroid hormone, again coming to the Vishnu, Dasavtaram. Thyroid hormone produces heat required by Lord Shiva in Kailash. Low thyroid hormone suffers from cold intolerance. High this, so maintaining a perfect value of thyroid hormone is absolutely essential. What a wisdom is amazing. And that is what I have summed up in this particular picture and say, at the end of the whole concept of understanding knowledge, we should come to the stage and say, this is what it is all about.